This is part one of a three-part series about the offer negotiation. During the offer negotiation, the one thing we always want to remember is we always want to try to put ourselves in the other person's shoes, right? A buyer obviously wants to pay the least amount. The seller obviously wants to get the largest amount, but somewhere in the middle lies, the happy medium. Now, as a buyer, when we make an offer, we want to do all the homework. We want to see what the seller paid for the home, how long they've been there, and we obviously have to make some sense of an offer, right? If the seller's only been there a couple years, they probably paid $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 less than what the offer price is. Going in with an offer that's $25,000 light is probably not going to make a whole lot of sense because the seller would be losing money at that point. All right, so during the pricing, during the home inspection negotiations, those types of things, we really need to take into account the other person's position. Do we think that asking that is unreasonable? Well, if you're a seller and you get a home inspection request from the buyer and you're thinking about, geez, that's unreasonable, there's nothing wrong with that, but, my heaters worked fine for 25 years. Well, think about if you were the buyer buying that house. Wouldn't you want peace of mind? Yes, it may work for you and you may understand it, but the buyer's going to pay, $300,000 for a house. They want to make sure the heater works, right? And many of the other kind of deficiencies that may come across the house. The home inspector may say, gee, the roof is beyond its serviceable life. The buyer may say, well, I don't want to move into a house when the roof is going to start to leak. And the seller may say, the roof's fine, it hasn't leaked a bit. We really, like I said, we really want to just make sure that we understand the seller's point of view and the buyer's point of view. And when you take those points of view and you come out of your shoes and put yourself in their shoes, it'll make the discussion, it'll make the negotiations, it'll make the thinking process and the analyzation process on how you're going to negotiate, what you think the answers are coming back as, and understanding the dynamics of both sides of the deal to make both people happy to get to the close table. That really is the key. Now, again, this is part one of the Russell Realty Minute. I have a part two coming up next. Thank you for listening. Evan at the Russell Team, at Work with Evan on the Twitter feed, RussellRealtyMinute.com.